So, hello guys, this is my little commentary that I'm gonna do on this video here of this stealth run I did. This stealth run was mainly to show you guys how I do my runs, or how I can help you make better moves, or how to basically strategically place yourself in the right positions, how to move forward, when to move forward, and etc. It's basically just a quick guide to how I'm going to be teaching you guys how to stealth run pretty nicely and what to watch out for. So one thing about this game is that it has a really small FOB, and that forces you to become more methodical with your plans, because you have less space over your camera view. That means that you have to quite literally be as methodical and as strategic as possible. And to do that, I'm going to show you guys how I did that. So one of the things that I like to do whenever I'm stealthing anything really is that I sometimes just, when I reach a point where I know I'm safe, like behind the cover, I like to check everything. I like to check the top of the area, I like to check the right side of the area, the left side of the area, and the back. That way I gain a full verification that if there's nothing left to check for, then you can move forward. And this is kind of, you can actually see in the video here, I'm doing it right now. I'm sort of looking around and I'm just waiting just a bit, being patient a little bit, just to see if anything moves, and once I'm clear, I just move forward. Another really smart tip to do is to always make sure that in your brain, before you're starting a mission or anything like that, before you're starting any stealth run, make sure to divide the enemies in small parts and divide the area in small parts. What do you mean by that? By that, I quite literally mean that you have to, when you see an enemy of 5 or 10 people, you're gonna think, oh, to take all these guys down. No, you can take these guys down if you divide them into 2 groups, or you can like divide them into multiple groups, and you can take them out one by one. It's all about cutting things into pieces and then executing it. It's like cutting up a cake. You cut a cake in like 4 sides. You don't eat the whole cake, in one whole swallow, pause. But you cut it in pieces so that you can eat it comfortably and you don't get yourself overwhelmed. This is quite the same thing here, actually. The philosophy of this game quite literally forces you to play like this. It's because it's not designed unlike the other MGS games where you mostly have a very wide overview of where every enemy is. In this game, you sort of have to find out where they are, how to do it, and I think it's slightly harder, actually, than other MGS games at the moment. And yes, so that. This game, as well, since this is actually, obviously, this is Ground Zero, so this is not exactly the Phantom Pain, but they are both similar in terms of their AI alert systems and whatnot. Oh my god, I'm gonna be missing a lot of shots in this video. I don't know why, but I am. The next thing I'm gonna teach you guys to do is that, yes, as you can see in the video, you can actually turn off these little things. They turn off the admin buildings, and basically they have more control over them, and that for a while that will keep them alerted. And while they're alerted, you can use this as your advantage to keep moving onto your objective while they look for you. But they will come to the area that you were last in, because that's where you turned off the thing, right? Yeah. So as I said, it's important to look up, down, left, right, behind, and slowly move forward. Don't rush. If you rush in this game, you're gonna get caught. You have to be really methodical in some of the ways that you have to move. You have to always use cover. Always use cover. Cover allows you to just be able to scope out any enemy near sight, and to do other things. Just use that to your advantage. Use the environment to your advantage, obviously. And as you can see, I'm just looking around this little area with the rocket launcher, which I'm not even going to use, but it's still out of here. So yeah, now I'll just be simply moving on to the objective, and here you guys will see something, a little error that I committed here. Yeah, so yeah, as you can see, somehow, I don't know if that was because the enemy spawned there, but this wouldn't have happened if I simply scoped out the area a little bit more. Yeah, and going back to the main principles of this game, divide the enemies into 2 groups. If you see 10, only kill 1 or 2, right, per each. You have to kind of group the enemies together, and you sort of have to deal it as not a 1v40, but a 1v2. You know what I mean? Like, you have to like 1v2 each enemy or each group that you want to do, right? And you have to utilize your environment for that. As in this case, I'll be showing you guys. As you can see in that top tower over there, there is an enemy, and there's obviously an enemy right below him. So in this moment, I'm thinking in my brain, okay, this is a 1v2 situation, meaning that if this guy catches me, if I do the wrong move, this guy will catch me, right? But obviously, you have to maneuver yourself and choose the best details and simply wait. Simply wait. And because I knew that the guy couldn't see me once I maneuvered myself out of his line of sight, I knew that it was safe to take that approach and just simply pull over to the road. And thus leaving me the open area to come back to base. So it's all about sort of planning what you're gonna do, dividing each enemy into groups, so like 2 enemies, 2 enemies, 2 enemies, instead of like fighting 10 enemies at once. Sort of organize the enemies, and that's how you can play clearly, because then you're going to be thinking more about what you can do rather than how much you have to do. And that's where that click unlocks, and you're able to play it smoothly. So yeah, that's pretty much all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I guess this video was sort of like a thing I wanted to do for a long time, because I see that there's not a lot of videos that really cover this kind of stuff. And if you like niche content like this, like where I'm specifically talking about this over a video commentary, then just like, because I'm going to be uploading a couple of these sooner or later. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. See you guys next time.